Hi everyone. This is Landry Etheridge with Etheridge Counseling Group, and I wanted to talk today briefly about this trend that I'm seeing in Charleston of millennial women starting therapy for the first time. I would say maybe more than half of my clients that I have coming in for therapy have never done therapy before. And this is women in their 20s, their 30s, and their 40s. I love it. I love working with clients who've never done therapy before. I think it takes a lot of bravery. A lot of times I think people have been thinking about it for a long time, but I don't know, it just took a while for them to really decide, no, I am going to invest in myself. I am going to risk the vulnerability of talking to somebody, putting my trust in the process, and to really maybe gain something significant and profound. I recently wrote a blog post about this, about some of the reasons. I think millennial women, specifically in Charleston or in South Carolina in general, are starting therapy. And as I'm kind of creating this list, I'm realizing now I've left off some things. There's really a lot of reasons why people go to therapy. But some of the ones that I've seen consistently is one, this desire just for well-being. They want excellence in their lives. They don't want to just take care of their physical bodies, but they really see a value in taking care of their emotions, their nervous systems, their relationships. Some women are coming in thinking about starting a family, and they really want to make sure that they're in a healthy place so that they can parent and not sort of pass down some of these negative patterns onto their children. They want to be able to really be there for their kids in ways that maybe maybe they had great parents, but maybe in some ways their parents weren't able to be there as much as maybe they needed them to be. So that's definitely one. Another is what I call little t trauma, or what a lot of therapists call little t trauma, which are these events in the past that didn't really ever get resolved emotionally or neurologically. And so they're experiencing triggers in their lives, right? So maybe they find themselves often getting triggered by certain types of people or certain types of situations. And we know that triggers are there because we have something that's unresolved in our past. That is what makes something a trigger, is because it's touching on something, it's picking at something that never got fully healed. And so we have this response that maybe seems out of proportion with the thing that happened. And so people are recognizing that now, I think, and thinking to themselves, I don't have to keep living my life being triggered by these events. What if I went back and not just put a Band-Aid on it, but really kind of take the Band-Aid off and really address the underlying concerns? And then, of course, people come in for what's called big T trauma, which are those bigger life events. So maybe a near-death experience, maybe an assault of some kind, or maybe something a little bit more not what you maybe would think of as a trauma, but maybe it's spiritual abuse, religious abuse, emotional, physical neglect from childhood. A bad car accident would be another example of big T trauma. So those bigger life events. Another big life event that brings a lot of clients in is a recent move. I mean, I think it's around 90,000 people. Well, now I'm going to forget. Is it 90,000 people have moved to Charleston in the last year? Charleston's been named one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. There are a lot of people who are collectively having this experience of, I'm in this new city, I don't know anybody, I'm trying to figure everything out. It takes a while to feel like you're really at home. Thankfully, we have lots of things to do, so you might have a lot of things to do, but you don't really have anybody to do it with, or you're navigating, starting a new job in Charleston and figuring all of that out, and maybe some grieving about leaving some friends and family behind with the move. Lots of things to process. In my blog post, I also mentioned some things like identity formation. So, figuring out for yourselves, what do I believe? What's my value system that's going to shape the things that I do and the things that I think. So yeah, lots of good reasons that people are starting therapy, but and specifically millennial women, that is women in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, are starting now. I will mention one more because it's a frequent one, and that is relationship conflict, or just relationships in general. A lot of us weren't taught the skills we need to have really healthy relationships. And that would be things like boundaries, communication skills, emotional regulation. Without those things, it is hard to, assertiveness. Well, it's really hard to have a healthy relationship if we don't have those skills. And many of us just never had the opportunity to learn those things, or maybe just never really had examples of healthy relationships. Either your example of relationships were, and I'm talking about any type of relationship, friendship, marriage, whatever type of relationship. Maybe the relationships that we've had modeled for us were either maybe full of conflict or full of avoidance. Things just got swept under the rug. We just kept it moving. So yeah, a lot of great reasons people are starting therapy. I'm totally here for it. I'm totally here for you if you think you're interested in giving it a try for the first time, or you think you might be interested in giving it a try for a second or third time. Maybe you've had some past experiences with therapists that you really didn't care for, or maybe you had some really great experiences and you're just realizing, yeah, I think I've got some other stuff I want to work on now. You are welcome to give us a call, and we'd love to schedule you for a free consultation so that you can kind of get to know us and our approach, and we can kind of hear what your needs are and make sure we're a good fit for you, and schedule a session, put it on the books, and get started. So can't wait to hear from you. You can visit our website. It's www.landryetheridge.com. And you can look at the different therapists we have. It's me at this moment. At this time, it's me and Dr. Etta, and then we'll have another therapist coming on board soon who is really great with working with couples. So yeah, can't wait to hear from you.